My private life did a nosedive. A nosedive. Okay? A nosedive. Hi you guys, it's Tracy here again, the Chocolate Stew, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that I've completed two videos, you guys. Two videos in 1 week. A Thursday and a Sunday. I told you guys that I will post every Thursday and Sunday. So far, it's been 1 week, and I've stuck to it. Yay me. I'm proud of myself. All right, you guys. Today's video is going to be a story time. And I want to be as open and candid as possible without diving too deep in personal stuff. But this is my story of how I became a flight attendant, my steps into becoming a flight attendant, and what led me to become a flight attendant. And it's not like a lot of you say, oh, being a flight attendant was my dream. I wanted to be one since I was a young child, or mine does not go like that at all. At all. This is not a fairy tale thing. I fell into it. So I started off as customer service with my company, and I stayed customer service for approximately 3 years. I was in Philadelphia for 1 year, and then, oh wait, I may have gotten it wrong, but 2 or 3 years in Orlando. And I loved it. I loved it. But one day I was working at the counter. I was married. I had been divorced, but remarried. And my 2 oldest children, they had gone off on their own. And I still had my youngest one with me still. And so I was working the counter one day, and I'm doing my usual. I'm checking people in. Hi, welcome to, check your bags. And at that point we had where you could check in yourselves. Now, it's normal. It's common. You walk up to a counter, any airline, and you could check yourselves in, basically. So it was a new concept. So people would come up and they check themselves in, how many bags, 2 bags, 3 bags, whatever it was. And me being the customer service agent, I would stand behind the counter. And one day I'm checking people in, come on up. And I don't know why, but there was a couple with about 2 children. And I said, oh, come on up, touch the screen to begin. You know, that smile, touch your screen to begin. And they walked up, proceeded to kind of tap the machine, but you know, it's new. It was new to them. And so within myself, I don't know why, but I felt myself getting very agitated and no patience. And I'm a very patient person when it comes to my job. So I can feel something was wrong. So I said, just touch the screen. It won't bite you. Touch the screen. You guys, I know it sounds crazy, but in that particular instance, I knew that I had to change, because I can feel the frustration. No fault of their own, but I'm like, why am I frustrated with these people? They would have never known that I was frustrated with them, because I never showed it, and I don't show it. I just keep it in. Yeah, all you had to do is touch the screen again. That's it. So they tagged their bags. They walked away. And on the inside, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I can feel where I'm starting to get very impatient. Not just feeling right. Like I needed a change from this particular job. And so a few months later, they opened up the flight attendant positions. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because at that point, you guys, there hadn't been any openings in years to become a flight attendant. Years. And so I was ecstatic. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And with that, of course, I applied, did everything. There was thousands and thousands of people that applied for this position, okay? I was internal, so I was blessed in that way. That doesn't mean you're a shoo-in. You're just kind of blessed that you could kind of get in there a little bit. Within about 2 weeks, I found out that they wanted to interview me. I was ecstatic. Oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. Everything went through that first phase. And then the bomb dropped. Well, I wasn't able to go in flight at that particular moment because I had too many, what we would call, so that you all understand it, I'll say it in layman's terms, I had one too many call outs. Okay, that's the only way that I can explain it to you. And so if you have that, you can't go in. I have to wait until those points drop off. So I had about a good 2 or 3 months for them to drop off. Okay, make a long story short, at that point, I was going through a lot also in my private life. My private life did a nosedive. Okay, a nosedive. I won't go into it, but it was not pleasant. And to say the least, I was scrambling. What am I going to do with my life? You know, I'm 40-something years old. What am I going to do? I'm getting ready to change careers. You know, this has got to work. So with my personal life pretty much going down the tubes at that time, and me wanting to become a flight attendant, and I have my daughter still, y'all, things weren't good. They were not good at all. So then eventually I got my foot in the door. My points dropped off. I was interviewed for the job. I went through a series of interviews like most flight attendants do. Made it through that. Thank God. Made it through that. And then it was time to go to training. Now, when I went to training, I had a lot of things, like I said, I had a lot of things going on. Personal life, taking a nosedive. And then also in the back of my mind, at that time, if you left your position, I was leaving customer service, still staying with the same company, leaving customer service, going into a different area in the company. Now, at that time, if you did not make it out of training, in-flight training, and let's say you failed, you didn't make it, I couldn't go back to my same position if there were no openings. And at that time, there weren't any. So if I didn't make it, if I didn't complete in-flight training, I would have been out of a job, period, out of the company. Now, could they have found me another position in another state or anything? Yes, they could have offered me whatever positions were open, you know, whether it was in California or Utah, wherever. And if I said, no, I can't go there, then I'm out of a job. So while I was going through training, y'all, I had so much stress. Stressed. That's the only way I can describe it. Every day, my heart would beat fast. So let me recap. My personal life took a nosedive. My job, the only one that I had, was on the line. If I didn't make it through, I had nothing. Nothing. No money. Y'all, don't even talk about money. Money, I made the dumbest mistakes in my life, you know, like we all have. But at that point, I had no money. So, bank account. No, let me be honest. When I say no money, it doesn't mean I had zero. What it means is that I probably had about roughly $2,000 in my account. That's it. So while I was going through training, that was in the back of my mind. And then trying to concentrate on, you know, your studies. Because in training, you have to study a lot. Because it's all new material. I mean, I knew nothing about. Even though I was customer service, I knew nothing about aviation, about being a flight attendant or a plane. I knew nothing about that. I know it sounds crazy because I was customer service, but I wasn't on a plane. I didn't deal with aircraft. So while I was in training, and y'all, mind you, I hadn't studied in a long while. A long while. I told you, I was 40 something years old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta study? Really? Oh, jeez. So I would be up, you know, oh my gosh, there was no sleep. At night I would be studying. During the day I would be studying. In between breaks I'd be studying. Now, when I went through training, in my particular training, if you failed 2 tests, 2, you're out. You're sent home. I'm sorry. You get 2 tries. 2 tries. Something like that. Don't quote me on it. But y'all best believe I was walking the tightrope. I think I failed 2 tests, I believe. Something like that. Whatever it was, I failed it. One more thing that I failed, I was out. Okay? So, when I say out, I think we went to class for 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. So, y'all, I failed those in the first 2 weeks. So I had weeks to go. So I was on edge. On edge. I am not kidding you guys. I was on edge for like the remaining 4 weeks. I could not fail anything. Nothing. And so, and I'm sorry if I'm being dramatic. I'm really not. This is the truth. So, only by the grace of God, that I got through. So training for me was no walk in the park. It was not a piece of cake. There was a lot of praying for me, and I won't speak for the other people. Let's just stick to me. I saw a lot going on, but you know, I'm not putting other people's business out there. This is just me. I prayed a lot. I cried to myself, you know, in the bathroom. You know, when you go to the bathroom, you close the stall, and you back there boo-hooing and stuff. You know, yeah, that's what I was doing. When I hear people saying that they want to become a flight attendant, how do you become a flight attendant? Am I too old to become a flight attendant? I'm not going to say, like some people say, well, if I can do it, you can do it. No. I'm not going to say that, because we all come with different reasonings for wanting to become a flight attendant. See, mine wasn't the traditional, you know, fairy tale, oh, I want to be a flight attendant. No, mine was a lot really out of necessity. And I knew by becoming a flight attendant, my world was going to change. Financially, number one. Being able to be flexible, because I have my daughter. I needed flexibility in my life. So I knew all of that would change for the particular circumstances that I was in at the time. So you guys, yeah, that's my story. That was the real deal of how my journey began as a flight attendant, or my first step into becoming a flight attendant, and why I became a flight attendant. I love being a flight attendant. There is nothing else on this earth that I would rather do, except for retire, than be a flight attendant. Why? Because it's flexible. It fits my lifestyle. I love the job. I love people, you guys. I think I've told you that in many other videos of mine, but I love people. I love being around people. I love meeting people. I love hearing stories. And y'all, I've heard so many stories over the last 11 years, plus years, just even being on the ground, working on the ground. Beautiful stories, some sad stories even, but just wonderful stories of how people live their lives that are so much different from mine. And yes, being a flight attendant has opened up the doors to the world, you know, being able to travel to different countries. Like I told you guys before, if you're ever interviewed, don't ever say you want to be a flight attendant because you won't travel. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Look, don't do it. Anyway, you guys, if you have any comments, any questions, leave them below. Let me know if you're in the 40, even the 30s, y'all, even 20s, y'all too, but the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and on up. Let me know if you're thinking about becoming a flight attendant. Maybe you guys have some things that you think that are holding you back. Maybe those things that are holding you back may push forward. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Huge thumbs up if you like, to help the algorithm on YouTube so that other people can find me. Did I say that right? Anyway, thanks again, you guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye. Oh, look at this. Broken nail. I gotta go get it fixed. Bye.